Just an advertisement. I figured, why not just advertise?
What?
We're live. I'm advertising for the Hills Run Red. It's, because you can. Like that. It happens.
What? That makes no sense.
Why not? Why not have a commercial beforehand? We can do that.
Well,
Can't we?
because these movies are completely opposite of each other.
I know, that's why I thought it was kind of ironic and fun. But we are live. Are you ready to talk about this movie? We love this movie.
Yes.
Is it tipping off the crowd to say we love this movie?
Oh my God, this movie.
I know, right?
Only I could get more people to watch this movie.
I know, and there's a lot of people that don't like this movie.
I don't understand it. I really don't.
It's the times we live in.
It is.
Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, what am I? The Duke of Dope Discourse, your master of fun and wonder, your viceroy of verisimilitude, and your sommelier of cinema, Robert Meyer Burnett. And I'm here with my lovely compadre. Who might you be?
I am Elizabeth Gwendolyn Bell. I'm the ace, the arbiter of cinematic excellence, and the enchantress of entertainment.
The enchantress of entertainment. And tonight, it's Romantic Friday here on Whining
It
About
is.
Movies. This is our 60th episode.
Wow.
60.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. And I think you picked this movie.
I did.
It's pretty contemporary. It might be the most contemporary movie
That's
we've
true.
watched on our show. Normally, we don't go for contemporary movies because everyone, has seen them. It's kind of fun to rediscover movies, but this movie's
Yeah.
a personal favorite of ours.
It is definitely a favorite, and it's very romantic, and it's a musical, and it's like everything wrapped into
And it's
one.
whimsical.
Oh my God, this movie.
It's got good music. But before we get to this, we have to have our bottle of wine because it
Yes,
is Whining
we
About
do.
Movies. And this came from Claude and Candida.
It did.
This is a Sauvignon Blanc, La Petite. Well, I want to say Perrier, but it's a little different than Perrier. La Petite, just say La Petite Perrier. Sauvignon Blanc, because why not? It's 2018, and it looks like a lovely drop, and it's nicely chilled, because today was a hot one here.
It was so hot.
It was like
today.
100 degrees today.
That's crazy.
I know. But this is a crisp Sauvignon Blanc for our time tonight,
How perfect.
and we are going to drink to Damien Chazelle's 2016 modern musical, La La Land. So cheers to that. Ooh, that's good. What do you think?
It's delightful.
It is delightful.
I love a Sauv Blanc.
It's delightful like this movie is.
Oh my God.
So,
Yes.
before I'll take off my glasses. I forgot we had a letter. That's what I got to get the letter at some point. It's a good
yeah.
letter. So, Elizabeth,
Yes.
La La Land.
La La Land, Rob.
It won 6 Academy Awards. Emma Stone won for Best Actress.
It almost won 7.
Justin Hurwitz and his composer and friend and Damien Chazelle, they went to Harvard together.
Yes.
They thought up this movie when they were at Harvard. They did an early version of it, a short film version of it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, and it was based on like some of the great musicals, but also back to the 20s when there was musicals and movies about cities.
Yes.
And they figured rather than set it somewhere in San Francisco or somewhere else, they wanted to set it in L.A. as they developed it.
And LA is a big part of this movie.
They couldn't get this movie made.
Which is also another reason why I absolutely love this film, because most of the scenes happen in my old neighborhood.
Well, every place they go, they're
Right.
old haunts of mine,
but they were constantly in Griffith Park and
Yeah.
at the observatory, and I lived right at the foot of the observatory for 13 years. I raised my kids.
Well,
in
yeah,
Los
for
Feliz.
5 years I lived on Kenmore in Los Feliz, and it was just, you get in the car and you'd be at the observatory in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And it's a little different up there now than it was 30 years ago when I first moved to LA, but it is an iconic place, and they even touch on, you see a clip from Rebel Without a Cause, the famous knife
Yes.
fight, the James Dean knife fight happens there. So what I think is part of the appeal of this movie for us is that we live here.
We live here, and it was like literally in my neighborhood that they filmed this.
And this movie, to me, it for me, it's more about the 90s. This was 90s Los Angeles to me when I was younger, and when I They were going to make this movie originally about young people. They kept the studio's notes were like, you have to change this. Don't make him a jazz musician, make him a rock and roller, and have the people younger. And it was funny.
But they were young.
Miles Teller and Emma Watson. Hermione Granger were the original cast members. Hermione Granger, Emma Watson left to make Beauty and the Beast, and Ryan Gosling was going to be Beast in Beauty and the Beast, and left Beauty and the Beast to do this.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah. So
well, I think Emma Stone nailed this. Like, she was spectacular.
would you say she was an Academy Award?
Absolutely.
I think so too. And you know that because one of the great bits of acting that she did in this movie is this first audition that she's doing.
Yes.
She does this audition where she's like talking to somebody on the phone.
Yeah.
It's so great, and
Right?
it's just a
They should have hired her on the spot.
It was
But no,
amazing.
They were distracted by somebody needing a sandwich.
Yeah, somebody comes to the. It's so.
And that is so how it is too.
Well,
I used to take Zoe on auditions when she was little, and it's just like that. And then there's the hallway, and it's full of the same looking.
They all look the same.
It was like always with Zoe. It was like always these little girls that looked exactly the same, wearing the same thing. I mean, yeah, it's exactly
and everyone's
like
hustling. Like, you might be playing music here, but then you play someone's party. You go and what this also captured is that when I was younger, going out all the time, you always wound up at these huge houses, these gigantic, as they said, oh, it's another glass mansion. You don't even know who owns the house.
Right.
Come to this party at this place, and
Absolutely.
everybody's there. You know 50 people that are at this party. You don't quite know how everybody knows, and the parties were awesome.
Yes.
And you always met people
you would
there.
Meet people.
And
yeah, absolutely.
This really captured, and what was interesting was, I heard once, I want to say it was Nicholas Meyer, who made Star Trek II, said that it takes 10 years to become an overnight success in Hollywood. And this movie is smack dab. Emma Stone says, her character, Mia says, I've been here for 6 years. So she's 6 years into her 10-year overnight success story. And she might have got there in 6 years, but it really was, you bang around LA and it's one disappointment after another, but it's also, the disappointments are tempered with how much fun you were having. I mean, there was so much fun, and people were like, hey, can you come work on my music video shoot today? And you would do that, and you'd meet people, and then you'd wind up at some house in Malibu. I'm like, where, what? And then you had to be on set at like 7 a.m. and it was like 6 a.m. And you're like, I better go home and have a cup of coffee and take a shower and go to the set. I mean, this really captured the strangeness of what it's like, because everybody has a dream.
Yeah.
And you're in a place, because the people that have achieved their dreams aren't going to these parties. Or sometimes they will. It was all people, the whole ecosystem of that place is people that are they're hustling and they're doing things.
Yeah,
and you're doing stuff
to get in.
But you haven't reached the A list yet. You're like D and E, but everybody's doing something. And I mean, I've always wondered, is LA still like that? And I would say that this movie,
well, right now
right now it's not, but it seems to say that this movie seems to say that it hasn't changed much, but I have lost that.
Well, you grow up and you get old and you're not part of that anymore.
No, I mean, this is definitely something for me. It was 21 to 30.
Yeah.
That and it captures. I mean, and that's what he said. He wanted to make a movie about dreamers and and that it wasn't going to necessarily end happy, but it really does. I have such a fondness for this movie because the first 10 years I lived in LA were both heartbreaking and exhilarating, sometimes in the same day.
Right. And that's captured in this film for sure.
So what is this movie about? I mean, this movie doesn't really have much of a plot.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I mean, it starts out with this incredible musical number.
Yeah.
Yes,
the beginning, the
Another
first
Day of
scene,
Sun.
Oh my God.
Which they shot on the interchange between the 105 and the 110.
And it's amazing how they created this, and it took them a long time to get it right, and they practiced on a flat piece of ground, and then when they had to go and shoot it, like the ramp is sloped.
And it's really high up.
and they only had a limited amount of time, and it was blazing hot, and they had to like, and then a lot of the shot, most of the shot is one shot. The camera has to go.
Oh yeah, it's one
from
shot. It is one
person
shot.
to person, and it's just, I don't even know how they pulled it together.
Magic of movies, man.
It is so amazing, that scene. Like, just for that alone, this film is.
But what I love about that is Chazelle even says, he's like, look, I wanted people to know. I wanted to open this movie with a bang.
Yes.
You know, it's
and it definitely does.
And if you don't buy into the reality, the musical reality of this movie in that opening number, if you're not somebody who's able to buy into that, then you know it's not for you.
I don't trust people who can't buy into a musical premise. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, look, I
don't understand people who don't.
But I understand
it's to that part of their. I don't know.
But there's people that, you know what it is? It's this, I can understand. They just can't buy into that. It's just like people that don't like horror films or science fiction films or westerns. You know, there's genres that people just can't. They can't hang with those genres. At least they think they can't because they haven't watched. I believe that every genre has a doorway for everybody. You can say you don't like horror films, but there is a horror movie out there that will open your mind.
Absolutely.
Just like there's a country music song you will hear that will make you like country if you don't like it.
Now you're crossing the line.
No. I'm convinced there's just, you got to find the right way in. The right way in. And people will walk through that door.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, wouldn't the world be a better place if we all just broke out into song and dance whenever we felt like it, and like that you could just know what the other person is going to sing and say and dance, and you just are in sync? That would be amazing. I want to live in that world.
I would rather that people always broke into song, but you'd learn about them because of the songs they sang.
Yes.
Like if you would know if you're compatible with somebody if you know the words to the song they're singing.
Or when you start dancing, like you're in sync with each other.
Yeah, I mean,
how perfect would you be for each other at that point?
But there are things about this movie also that for me personally, the fact that she's a barista on the Warner Brothers lot.
Yeah.
My first ongoing job that I got a paycheck for in healthcare was working at Warner Brothers for 2 years on the lot. And so when she's on the lot, I mean, the courthouse steps right behind her, that's where they shot like My Blue Heaven. You know, which is a movie I worked on. And it's so, when they're on there, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, that lot was my home. I know every inch of that lot. It's changed a lot.
When she points up to the windows and she's like, that's where they did the scene of Casablanca.
Well, the whole New York streets where they shot all of Blade Runner.
Yeah.
The exteriors of Blade Runner. I mean, it's so this movie is very personal to us both because our neighborhoods are in it. Places we worked were in it. All the restaurants and the bars.
Yep.
Like there's that montage of places I've taken you to Patty's.
Yes.
You know, all the neon signs. So what is this movie about?
So this is a love story. And so how does it start?
Well, me and Sebastian are both introduced at the end of the big dance number.
Right.
And
they are both in cars that are on the ramp.
They're on the ramp, and it's great because the big dance number ends, and you think none of the main characters in that dance number.
No, they're not.
And then we find Mia and Sebastian in cars next to each other, and she's not moving because she's reading.
She's rehearsing her lines, and she looks down to look at the script, and the traffic has gone.
The traffic's moving, and
Sebastian's behind her,
honking at her, which is a thing.
Which is a thing that
he loves.
That goes throughout the film. He honks at her and drives past her.
And she flips him off. And what's really interesting, structurally, there's a very interesting conceit that happens. He drives off, and then we follow Mia home.
We do.
And we get into her life. We see her roommates.
She's got roommates. This is so LA. This is so how it is.
It's so LA.
We've got all these people trying to become actors, and they all live together and go to parties together, try to meet people.
Yeah, it's like every night there's something going
Absolutely.
on. We're going to go here, we're going to go there.
It's very, even though this is a musical and it's fantastical, it is very true to LA life.
Oh, that's why I said it is the first 10 years of my life was La La Land.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't sing as much.
Well, that's a
but we
bummer.
sang a little.
I'm sure you
Like
did.
you're going into Koreatown doing some karaoke. I mean, there was a lot of that. There was a lot of that, and sometimes you break into song. I mean, not like this.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of
Absolutely.
concerts and singing and places and things.
Lots of concerts, lots of music is a big. All the arts are a big deal in LA.
Yeah.
And that's what I love so much about
And
LA.
and what's interesting, when we were younger, even though you get incredible rejection and nobody pays any attention to you, it didn't matter because you could go home and you could be in a bad mood and someone's like, come on, we're going.
Yeah.
Or somebody would call you up, or somebody would show up at your house.
Absolutely.
And be like, dude, we're going. And I'm like, where are we going? It doesn't
Or
matter,
they
just
call
get in
you
the car.
like, can you meet us here? We're at this amazing bar. You gotta
Yeah,
come.
you gotta come. Like, and people, you do that.
You do that.
Like, there was no like, oh man, I'm not gonna go. It's like, no, you go.
You go.
Yeah, because you never know what's gonna happen.
Yep.
And the thing was that there were times, if I wrote a book about what went on during that time, nobody would believe it. Because the stuff you'd wind up doing, like, you never know who, suddenly you're in a huge star's house.
Yeah.
Like at their house in Mohome.
Yeah.
You're like, what are we doing here? And it was crazy. So you follow
her home. She does a number with her roommates.
One of them is the star of Debs.
Yes.
Debs.
Yes, that's right.
Science fiction, and who played the robot in Ex Machina.
Yep.
The Asian
And they
robot.
do this really great number. They're singing and dancing, and they're going out to a party. And they go to the party, and, it's to meet people. And she has a moment where she's just like, ugh, this again. She goes into the bathroom, and she has this kind of... The music is, like, big, and then there's this quiet moment where she's just kind of like, ugh, kind of sick of it. And she's singing to herself, and then she goes back out, and then things build back up again. I mean, that's...
And then it ends with fireworks.
It ends with fireworks, and
then it ends, and the next day we get a bit of her life. She's a barista on the Warner Brothers lot, where there's a great moment when this star, they could have cast like a celebrity, they didn't.
Yeah.
You don't really see the celebrity comes in, oh, please, let us give it to you for free.
Yeah, and she's like, no.
Yeah, and then she goes to do an audition, and we see her life, audition after audition after audition.
And the auditions are great because Emma Stone is such an amazing actor. And so, she's auditioning, and keeps getting rejected. And then how does it flash back to...
Well, she goes and she hears music coming out of a club.
Right. Wait, what is she doing? Oh, that's when she went out with her friends.
Yeah,
and she can't find her keys to her car, so she starts walking. Yeah,
she walks through
and
Hollywood.
You see, of course, these great scenes of Hollywood, like those murals.
And it's basically she goes into Bordner's, even though it's not called Bordner's, but she goes into Bordner's.
She hears music.
Right off she's on Cherokee, off Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, which is right in Hollywood.
Yeah, she's right.
And she goes in, she hears this music, she goes into this place, and he's playing...
what is their theme?
What they call is their theme.
Their theme.
Me and Sebastian's theme song, which is an absolutely hauntingly beautiful piece.
It is. And then and she's staring at him, and then the light comes down, and suddenly we're back on the bridge from the beginning, the overpass, and we see Seb.
Well, no. Before that happens, he gets.
No, we don't see him get fired yet.
Oh.
We don't see him get fired yet. See, because
right.
She sees him, and then structurally this is really interesting. So
I love how they did this.
So then we snap back to the beginning of the movie, and then we follow
on the overpass, and then you follow Sebastian.
You follow Sebastian, and he's a total iconoclast. He loves jazz.
He loves jazz.
He's hanging out outside of a jazz club that's become Tortillas and Tapas. That used to be a famous jazz club, and he's mad about that, and he goes home to his sister, and his sister wants him to meet a girl, and
right.
why do you have all these records and all this junk?
Yeah.
I mean, when are you gonna
learn that he's obsessed with jazz, and he even has like this stool from a jazz player.
Yeah.
And her sister kind of makes fun of him, and he's not paying his bills, and so she's on him.
Totally, I completely relate to his character.
And he's like,
100%.
well, and she's like, why aren't you unpacking your boxes? And he's like, well, I'm waiting until I open my jazz bar.
My jazz bar club. Chicken on a stick.
Chicken on a stick.
But we find that out. We'll find that out later. And it's great. And then he goes to what is his job? It's Christmas time.
Right.
And by now it's Christmas time, or it's the fall, or what? But it's Christmas time.
Yeah, because the restaurant's decorated.
And he goes to this restaurant. J.K. Simmons owns it. J.K. Simmons from Whiplash. Damien Chazelle brought him back from Whiplash.
We should do that.
Doing
movie.
A cameo. And he has to play the. J.K. Simmons says,
yes, he has a talk with him and says,
"Don't go, no freeform jazz. Just play the Christmas playlist."
And obviously, they had talked about this before because he seems to keep playing whatever he feels like playing
over and over again
of what the boss wants, which is just Christmas music. And so he's like, yes, I will just play your playlist. And so he starts playing, and you can tell that he's annoyed and he's bored with this music. And then he just starts drifting off.
At the end of the night, he starts playing what is Mia and Sebastian's theme.
He does. He plays their theme.
The music that we saw Mia hear from outside.
And she hears it.
And then of course, J.K. Simmons comes out and fires him. And it's great. Ryan Gosling's like, no, you don't mean that. He goes, no, I mean that. He goes, no, this is a warning. You're supposed to give me a warning. No, you're
he's
fired.
Like, please don't fire me.
Yeah, and he gets fired. And there's this great moment where then you see Emma Stone standing there listening to him, watching him get up and getting fired.
Yeah, and she's mesmerized by this music.
Mesmerized by the music.
Beautiful music. And he walks past her. He's just fired. He walks past her and she says
but they're
to
on
him,
collision course.
Yeah, and she says to him, wow, what you were playing was amazing. And he bumps into her and just keeps walking.
Just keeps walking. It's great.
And she's just like...
It's a great moment.
It is. He's kind of a dick sometimes.
Yeah. No, he's kind of a dick. And
then...
And then they cuts to another day, another party at another house.
Another party.
A bunch of people that you don't know how they got there. You don't know whose house it is, but they've got a band playing 80s covers. Mm-hmm. You know, like Take On Me. And Mia is there, and she suddenly sees Sebastian.
She sees that he's the one playing the keyboard.
He's playing the keyboards, and he's got the keyboard that he wears. And what's interesting is we didn't know this about him. He's an iconoclast jazz fan, but now we see that he's in an 80s cover band because everybody has to do. I mean, what was so great is this kind of shit happened all the time. You would, because the ecosystem in LA that you would exist in was really between the triangle of the 101, the 405, the 10 freeway, and then you would it was Los Feliz, and there was Hancock Park, but it was a very small area.
It is, and you ran into the same people.
You ran into the same people, the same like 10,000 people that are in LA at any one time that are really serious. You always run into them, and so she sees him, and they recognize each other from the club.
She recognizes him, and then the lead singer says, "Are there any requests?" This is a great scene, and she requests, "What's the name
Flock
of the song?"
of Seagulls, I Ran.
Yeah, I Ran. And she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
And so they start playing it, and then she looks at him, and he looks, and he knows, and he's like, and they start singing the song, and she starts doing this dance, and then she's just like, and walks away.
But then they have their meet cute.
They do.
They have a great meet cute when they're very they're standoffish to one another.
He's still kind of a dick.
But in a cute way, though.
Yeah.
And then when the party's over, she's walking out, he sees her, she's like talking to there's a very funny moment with a screenwriter going, yes, I'm really good at world building, I'm really hot right now.
She'd met him a little earlier, and he just kept talking about himself.
It was hilarious. But that happened all the time, too. No one would tell you who they are. It's like, let me tell you what I'm doing, and it was great. So they start walking to her car, up the hill in Griffith Park or whatever.
Grab her keys, and so they start walking to her car, and this is where I'm just like, oh, this is my neighborhood. Like they're walking towards, like those are the streets that lead up to.
Yeah, you're overlooking. Overlooking. What's great is it's not. But it's also you're looking down at Universal.
You are.
You know, Universal and NBC. They don't tell you that, but you're looking down at Universal, and the lights of the entire San Fernando Valley, and you're looking out toward Burbank. Yep. You know, it's great. And North Hollywood. Mm-hmm.
And so he's walking her to her car, or pretending he's walking to his car while she's walking to hers.
And it's a great dance number between the two of them.
Love it.
About how nothing's going to happen between us. We don't even think about it.
It's so great.
And it's cute, and you realize there's a real spark. The song is called A Lovely Night.
Yeah, I love it.
So.
And she's wearing a great yellow dress. Yellow's my favorite color, so.
No, it's great. And they meet And then they start to get to know one another. But Mia's in another relationship.
She's been dating a guy for
a
a month.
Dating a guy for a month. And a guy who was in The Big Short, by the way.
Yeah, he looks like he'd be in The Big Short.
He's in The Big Short, so I had great big love for that guy. You know.
Well, then you should date him.
No, she didn't treat him well. She could have been honest, but she wasn't.
Okay. She didn't mean to be mean to him.
But they go out. They start hanging out together. He takes her to jazz clubs. She explains she's writing a one-woman play and acting, and they really start. They're both artists. They're both dreamers.
And he encourages her to pursue her dreams, and he's like, forget all these auditions, because she says like she's so sick of it, she keeps getting rejected, and he's like, do your own thing. And so she decides to write her own play, and he's totally supportive and encouraging her to do that. And then she is encouraging him to open up his jazz club.
Chicken on a stick.
And then she suggests that he name it Seb's. And she even makes a little logo for him.
Seb's. And it's a great logo.
It is.
But they what's great, well, that's later. That's later. But so she leaves the guy she's dating. They meet at the Rialto, which is a theater, again, the Rialto, which is right down the street from us.
It's right here, and we've always talked about buying it and living in it and converting it.
And turning it into the great thing, because it's been ramshackle for years.
It's falling apart.
Quentin Tarantino tried to buy it. It's right across from a great barbecue joint, and there's that great...
Yeah, and that ice cream place.
The ice cream place, the Japanese anime ice cream place.
Yeah, that's weird, because they have, like, these stuffed animals all stapled onto the wall.
In South Paso. We haven't been there in a while. We should go to that.
Well, we can't now.
Oh, that's right.
But when things are normal...
I hope they're both still there. I bet that ice cream place isn't there anymore.
That ice cream place was so good.
So good. But anyway, so the Rialto is there. That was also in Robert Altman's The Player. It's like if you're going to have a movie theater, it's the Rialto because it's got that great marquee.
Yeah, and that's in South Pass.
And then after they do that, they fall in love and they're in a relationship and everything seems to be going well. They're encouraging each other.
By the way, each like part of this film is labeled by seasons, which I think is a great way to denote the time passing.
But also, unlike some movies that would like you'd see snow on the ground, winter.
Right.
It tells you the seasons, but nothing.
But it's more about the time, like
right,
winter, and then in spring, like, and it also reflects the season of their relationship. So in spring is when they actually get together.
Absolutely.
And then in summer their relationship is a little more mature. They're living together, and then it just kind of.
But what I love about it is the seasons in LA don't change.
No, they don't.
So visually, like in movies, if it's When Harry Met Sally, it had to be you, and then it's fall, the leaves are coming off the trees. LA, it's always the same. It's just always the same.
Even though it does get a bit chilly here in the winter.
Yeah, but if you didn't know what the temperature, you'd look and be the sun.
True.
The quality of the sunlight changes. That's about it. Like in the winter,
it's kind of cold in the winter, and the sun goes down at 5, which is horrible. Horrible.
But yes, it's a good device. It works. And then one day when they're at this jazz club that Zeb takes to all the time, Zeb meets John Legend shows up.
He does.
An old schoolmate of his, John Legend, because of course John Legend was your schoolmate. Although he's not John Legend in the movie.
No.
But he's just
he's a singer.
And they work together and John Legend's like, "Hey man,
he tries to hire him.
Yeah, we have a band. We need some keys. You're."
But Sebastian is like, he just wants to cling to jazz and revive jazz, traditional way of playing jazz, and so he's kind of like, he doesn't really want to do this.
Like John Legend's pop. He's not jazz. He's like sold out.
He's
pop. And then what happens? At home one night, he overhears Mia talking to her mother.
Yeah.
And her mother's making excuses about, well, my boyfriend doesn't really have a job. And by the way,
she's trying to explain to her mom.
By the way, I've heard that I heard so many girls say that about me. Not one, but like 10.
Well, yeah, because moms want to know, like, who's this guy you're with, and what is he doing?
Oh man, did I get a lot of that?
Yeah.
I got a lot of that from my own mom.
So she's like, he has a dream of opening this jazz bar.
He doesn't have a jazz club yet, but he's gonna open it.
Yeah, and you can kind of guess, like, the mom is like, what, is his bar open yet? And she's like, well, not yet. He's working on it. I guess he's saving up money. And he overhears this, and, you know, that's a big deal to a guy.
Because he really loves her, and he wants her to
does.
be happy, and he realizes, we need...
He loves her, but he has commitment issues.
I don't know if he has commitment
Yeah,
issues.
he does.
So, well...
That's what the whole end of the movie is about.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, because this is where... Okay, wait, we're almost... Okay, obviously, we're at a place where we see some things differently here.
No, he definitely has
So wait a minute.
issues.
No, Sebastian takes the job with John Legend.
He does.
Because he wants to be with Emma Stone.
Right.
And he realizes if he wants to realize his dreams, he can't do it without any capital. So he does the responsible thing. He compromises his beliefs, joins this band, and the band's like, yeah, man, we're going to give you $1,000 a week. We'll take you on tour. You get some of the merch.
But he gives up his dream.
He doesn't give up anything.
Yeah, because when they have that big fight...
No, we're going to talk about that.
It's not about saving money
we're not there.
anymore.
We're not there. Hang on. We're not there yet.
Are we going to fight?
He does not give up his dream. This is like...
Yes,
this is where the movie...
he does.
Okay. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, which is what pisses her off.
Oh, my God. Okay, let's just go there.
She never asked him to take that job.
So hang on a second. So, because we're not at the... So, he's on tour. He's making the money. He's putting it away. He's building some security. It never says...
But wait a second. He is not putting it away, obviously, because what is that whole fight about? He has given up his dream.
Okay, wait a minute. Hang on a second.
He
No.
thinks-
That's what she's saying. Hang on. Before we get into it. So, this band, there's a scene in the movie, and I'm going to tell you this scene in the movie, that it begins the point where I'm annoyed. And it's when Emma Stone...
You're annoyed?
Yeah, I'm not annoyed with you. I'm annoyed in the movie. This is the
Yeah,
point.
you're annoyed
This is
with
the point in the
what's
movie.
happening in the movie.
In the movie, when John Legend, their band, what is the band name? I forget the name of the band.
know.
The name of the band is playing, and they're playing in L.A., and Mia has come to see Sebastian play, and it's jazz pop.
Yeah, and she's shocked.
Okay. This is where I get annoyed, because every single girl I dated in LA told me, why can't you just get a job where you're making some money so you can have some stability, so we can have some stability while you're pursuing? It never is stated.
Excuse me, Rob. She never said to him, go get a real job. She supported his dream. He deduced that from her conversation with her mom.
Yeah.
He came to that conclusion.
Okay.
She never pushed it. She wanted him to open up his club.
She did. But how is he supposed to do that without any money?
Exactly.
You were the girl. You have never been a dude overhearing the conversation your girlfriend has with her mother about the fact that you're a deadbeat, you don't have a job, you don't have any money, and she's covering for your ass. Because she loves him. And you sit there and you think to yourself...
And she never, ever told him to go and get a real job.
No, but she's telling her mother in not so many words.
No, her mother's asking her questions, and she is...
Man, let me just tell you. You got married young. You don't know what it was like. You don't know how many conversations.
Oh, you don't think that I've had that conversation with my mom?
I know. No, I know. For me, that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, I understand. Like your mom's like, why doesn't Rob go get another? I get it.
My mom would never say that.
Okay, but anyway, it's the same shit. I'm just telling you. It's not that we're unaware. Sebastian knows he loves her. He's like, I need to get a job. He doesn't give up on his dream, which is bared out by the end of the movie.
That's what the whole fight is about.
No, she
doesn't want him to give up on his dream. He's even the one that she's like, so how long are you going to do this? And he's like, he can't even answer the question because in his mind, it's like, this is it. This is it.
No.
And he even says that, this is it.
I understand.
This is what I'm doing.
They get in this big fight. He's like, but this is what I'm doing now. Nobody who lives in LA resolves themselves if they're doing good. He even says, you know how many people wait their whole lives to get something good?
Right. So he is he has decided that this is what he's doing.
No, he's decided this is what he's doing now. He doesn't think he's going to do it for 50 years like the Rolling Stones.
But that's why they're fighting. She's like, don't give up on your dream.
She's fighting with him. She's the one saying, oh, I thought you wanted to do this. She says it. It's in the movie. She skewers him. She's like, well, what about giving your dreams or whatever and all that?
Exactly.
I mean, there is a pragmatic issue. How does she think, and this is why I think the movie is, I'll tell you, there's another movie that did the same thing that pissed me off. Reality Bites. Reality Bites. Winona Ryder and Ben Stiller got her a job at MTV, and Ethan Hawke's like, no, man, you're like selling out if you work for the man. I mean, it's like, give me a break. In that early 20s period, when you're in that 10-year waiting to become an overnight success, if you are clocking some dollars, you are not going to be giving up on your dreams. What you're doing is you're building your war chest so you have enough money and you're building credibility.
You're talking out of your own experience. He never said to her, I'm going to be doing this for a few years to save up money to open up my club. He never says that to her.
Because he comes at her.
And if he had said that to her, she would have been okay with it. But the fact that he said, she was asking him, is this what you're going to be doing? And he says, yes.
She wasn't asking him. She was coming at him. She was coming at him, and she was going.
She was not coming at him.
She totally was. He comes home. Remember what happens. He's on tour. He comes home. He makes her dinner. And she comes after him saying, are you going to give up on your dreams or whatever? And he's like.
She never came at him.
She does by bringing this up. She even says in the movie, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this right now? Like, I'm doing something very responsible, and you're coming at me?
She does not want him to give up on his dream.
But the idea...
And he has. He has.
No, he hasn't. He's been doing this job for like a couple of months. He's making good money. He's touring.
But she asks him, how long are you going to do this?
No, she asks him how long you do this because she does not respect what he's doing. She does not respect what he's doing.
Yeah, she never asked him to do that. She wants him to pursue his dream.
This is my problem with the movie. No girl, no woman would ever have. They're like, everyone knows.
Are you kidding me? That's exactly what I would have said.
No, because you would have known. Nobody gives up on their dream. They have a job. They take the job. They make the money. It's a good gig. You don't say no to a good gig.
She asks him, "Is this going to be like something?"
She does. She does say that.
He says yes.
Because at the time...
What the hell?
No, she says
You're projecting, dude.
No, he says I can do it for a couple years.
You are projecting. Anyway,
I'm not. I thought it was BS.
Because, wow, this movie's not about you. You already made a movie about you.
I'm not saying it was...
This movie is not about you.
I'm not saying it was about me, but in this scene, they play... Remember, she goes and sees their band playing.
Yeah.
And the way it's shot, the way Damien Chazelle makes this movie, you see her displeasure. This is the first time in the film that she's
not displeasure, because he even asks her, do you like the music? And she says, yes, but I'm surprised that you do.
Oh, my God.
She knows that he has given up on his dream. He has compromised.
No one gives up on their dreams in like 2 months. And you know what? The movie...
Oh, my God. Dude.
The movie,
you
by the way...
You need to rewatch that scene.
I understand, but the scene is, this girl is... We should move on.
Yeah, because you're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You are wrong.
You
are projecting, and that is not at all what that fight was about. That fight was about her not agreeing with him, giving up on his dream.
No.
That's what that fight was about.
It was about her looking down on him for doing the responsible thing.
She was not looking down at him.
She was too.
She was not. That is complete opposite.
You know something? The way the movie goes...
You are projecting.
I am not projecting.
You are so projecting.
I am not. He takes the job in the first place because of the conversation she had with her mother. And he wanted to make sure that the next time you talk to your mother, you can tell your mother, I'm playing with John Legend, I'm on tour, I'm making money.
She never asked him to do that, first of all. And
she didn't have to ask him. She had the conversation with her mother, and she was lying to the mother. He was doing the preemptive thing.
Dude, you're projecting. You have
never been a dude dating a girl. You don't know what that's like. You have no idea.
I know what she was feeling, and I know exactly what she was feeling.
But the movie doesn't say. It's not like 10 years went by and he's still playing in the band. He's been playing in the band for like a month.
But she asks him, how long is he going to keep doing this? And he doesn't have an answer for her.
Yeah, because he
she's like,
doesn't
"All right,
know."
is it going to be 2 years?
No, you know what?
And he just was like, this is it. This is what I'm doing.
Right now.
People wait their whole lifetime to be in a band like this.
He does.
And that's him saying this is it.
That's also him convincing himself
Oh my
about what
God.
he's doing. The whole movie is that, no. He's convincing himself he has to do this.
Okay,
and you know what?
We need to move on because this is now I'm getting upset. You are projecting onto this.
I am not projecting.
You are. You totally are. And you misinterpreted this fight.
I don't misinterpret this fight. I don't. I understand that. But you know what? What he's frustrated about, what he's mad about the fact that she's calling him out about giving up on his dreams. And he's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I am doing something really good right now. And you know what? Well, I will show you later as we get into this conversation further how I am not wrong about this.
Yeah, you are wrong.
No, because you know what? He didn't give up on his dreams. He never gave up on his dreams. The problem was he was put in a position of weakness because he was afraid of losing her because he didn't have any money. Because one day she was going to call her mom up a year later or 2 years later, and she would have said, well, he still hasn't opened his club because he never made any money because he never got a job. And the mother would have said, you're a bum. And what he did was he took a job where he could save some good money and then open his club. And that's what he did. He never gave up on his dream. He did open his club. And by the way, he supported her more. She gave up on herself. And without him, she never would have become a movie star. Because he was the dreamer. She failed. She left.
Are you kidding me?
She bailed.
It's the opposite.
No way. She left
He gave
LA.
up on his dream.
She never gave up on his
dream.
dream.
And the only reason he went ahead with the club is because she got her dream job and went to Paris. And instead of him, and they show this in the alternate ending.
No way.
They show this in the alternate ending. If he had gone with her to Paris, he could have kept playing his jazz and she would have done her thing and they would have been together and they would have.
And he wouldn't have his club.
He still could have, because when
he
they came back to LA.
Nope.
Okay, then.
No, because here's the thing. So
then he did the right thing. He gave her up and he has his club.
He did do the right thing.
Right.
That's the point of the movie. The movie is these dreamers, they were true to themselves ultimately, but she, without him, if he wasn't more of a dreamer than she was, he wouldn't have driven to Nevada. He did it because he really, really loved her. And you know what?
If he really, really loved her, then he should have gone to Paris with her.
No, he couldn't go to Paris because he can't quit his band. He didn't have enough money to open a jazz club. That's what he was like. He's like, I can't go to Paris with you because you have to pursue your dream, and I am making money. I'm not going to give up on my dream. The whole point is he never gave up on his dream. He never did. And she, without him being the peak dreamer, when he got that phone call from the casting.
Let's just keep going.
Just saying.
The plot. Where are we anyway?
So we will move on. So the band is doing very well. She's opening her one woman show that she's done for plan. He's been supporting her. Their relationship is already strained. And he doesn't show up to her because he had a photo shoot
that he encouraged her to do. I mean, he's a dick throughout this film.
Okay, it wasn't his fault. He got the dates wrong.
Oh, come on.
He got the dates wrong.
I mean, that was bad.
It was bad.
And the fact that she didn't even break up with him at that point was crazy.
She did break up with him.
She didn't. She's like, I'm out of here. I can't do this acting thing anymore.
Okay, what movie did you watch?
What movie did you watch?
Okay, wait a second. Please.
I can't believe we're fighting about this.
No. So, he has to go to a photo shoot. He has to live up to his professional obligations, as a professional does. He got his dates wrong. He realizes how horrible it is. He goes to a photo shoot where his mind is only on her.
That's still not okay.
I'm not saying it's okay, but it's the professional thing to do. You can't flake. He's working now at a level where and this is so he runs to try and get to her play
because he's in this band that he should not be in. Just saying.
Wow. So anyway, let's talk about what happens next. So her play doesn't go well. or so she thinks. Not
There's
very,
like 5 people
not
there.
very many people
and then
came.
at the end,
Okay, wait a second.
She overhears these guys like totally trashing her.
Totally trashing her.
Fucking assholes.
Okay, they were totally. But have you ever got? That's L.A., man. I mean, I've heard that that's L.A. You make something, you put it out there. There are people that are gonna hate on you. You better get fucking used to it. The universe is indifferent to your suffering, but you got to keep going. You got to persevere. That's why so many people don't persevere. So So she goes outside and sees him. They're on the sidewalk. After the play has gone badly, no one showed up, and she says, "I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving." Leaving. I'm leaving LA, I'm leaving you, I'm leaving our relationship. She breaks up with him and leaves.
She didn't break up with him, she just decided to go home.
Okay, well, I think that's pretty definitive.
Because he breaks up with her when she gets the job and goes to Paris.
Okay. What?
She does not break up with him.
Okay,
She's just
okay.
like, I need to get out of here.
Okay, I need to get. She doesn't. Let's semantics. I mean, give me a break.
Well, you're arguing about their argument.
She bails. She flat out leaves the state of California forever. She's gone.
Well, we don't know if it's forever.
Okay,
she leaves. She goes home.
Okay, she goes home. Now, I don't know if I don't know what part of breaking up you don't think that is, but she bails on him. She leaves. And he's being professional. Whatever, I get it. And I would say that then we cut to when he wakes up in his bed, he's getting a phone call, and when again, hello, I'm looking for Mia. She's not here anymore. She's never going to be here. She's gone. He says she's never going to be here anymore. No more.
Yeah, he's such a dick. He's like, I'm never going to talk to her.
They've broken up. She bailed on him. She left the state. She's gone. Okay. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Clearly, what's going on here? So, but what does he do?
We watched 2 different movies.
What does he do? What does he do? What does our dreamer do? What does our peak dreamer do? He gets in his car and goes to another state, doesn't even know where she lives, only the town she's from, and her house is by the library. He drives, what is that? How many hours? 3, 4, I don't know where that town is. He drives there because he loves her, and he doesn't think twice, and he's like, this is a really important audition. He knows it because he's a dreamer, and if he hadn't stepped, he was going to throw the phone away and didn't answer the phone, but he did pick up the phone and knew it was so important that he drove out. He didn't even, apparently, she didn't have a cell phone. He didn't even call her because he knew she would say no to him. So he got in his car and he fucking drove. He drove 500 miles to get her. And then he says, hey, she's saying, I'm not going to do it. He's like, you know what? I'm going to stay in Nevada, meaning I'm going to go stay at a shithole Motel 6 or whatever. I will be here at 8 o'clock in the morning. I will pick your ass up. I will drive you 500 miles. I will take you back to Los Angeles, and you will go to this audition. I know. She didn't do that. He did. So who's the peak dreamer? Who's the person that never gave up on their dreams?
When did this ever become, Emma versus Ryan?
Well, at this point in the movie, it is.
What the fuck?
And so
I really
Ryan, Emma versus Ryan? I think that was a Freudian slip. You meant Sebastian.
Well,
I know it's Ryan Gosling,
name.
Emma I know.
His name is Ryan.
I know.
I said Emma.
I just think that was
I didn't say Mia.
All right, I think it was a little personal. I think you might have been
No,
projecting.
not at all, because I said Emma. If I'd said Mia versus Ryan, then that would have been a mistake. But I said Emma.
I'm just saying.
Versus Ryan.
Anyway.
Those are their names.
Would you not agree that he does do this in the movie?
Yeah, sure.
But don't you think that now, what does his gesture mean to you? Like, what in the plot of the film, and in what is that saying about his character and where his mind is at?
You're right. He's the best. He's not a dick.
I'm not saying
he's the dreamer. She's not a dreamer. She doesn't encourage him to pursue his dreams, but he encourages her to pursue her dreams. You're right. You're absolutely right.
It's not about being right or wrong. We're talking about a movie. It's not about me or you.
Well, you were very passionate about
but because
their argument. So let's just go with your version.
No, I'm asking you your opinion. It doesn't have to be my version. It's about your version too. But don't you think that in the film, there's something that's being said here?
Sure.
I mean, they could have reversed it. They could have done a scene where they reversed the character dynamic, but they didn't.
Right. So he goes and gets her.
I mean, another reading could be he's trying to make amends for fucking up too.
Exactly. He goes and gets her. He convinces her that she needs to do this. She's afraid because she keeps getting rejected. So finally,
and rightfully so.
Yeah, she's scared. Rejection hurts. And so she decides she's going to do it. And he tells her, I'm going to pick you up tomorrow at 8.
Which means he also had to go get a hotel room somewhere.
Right. And so at 8 o'clock...
Unless he slept in the library parking lot.
Maybe.
But he's been making money, so he can pay for the hotel.
At 8 a.m., he shows up.
Come on, babe. I love you. Come on, give me a kiss, babe. Come on. No fighting.
I can't believe we
no
have
fighting.
a fight about this movie. This is like mind-blowing to me.
That's entertainment. Come on. People love it. So then what happens?
Okay, so she decides that she is going to go to the audition, and she shows up at 8 a.m., and they go to L.A.
Hang on a second. It's 7:55 already. Wow.
Well, you had quite a rant about their argument.
All right, so, yes.
They go to L.A., she does the audition, which this is one of my favorite scenes in this movie. Like, her audition, and she sings this song about her aunt, about dreamers. It is, like, the most beautiful song and the most beautiful story that she tells.
The song is called the Audition, but The Fools Who Dream.
The Fools Who Dream.
Which, by the way, is the thesis statement of the whole movie,
Which
really.
is the thesis statement of my life.
Me too.
And she even touches on, like, her aunt saying that, you know, you need to connect to your madness. It's what brings you color in life. I'm like, I'm surrounded by madness, so you know how I feel about my, crazies.
It's true. I mean, when I'm the least crazy person you know it's crazy.
I'm surrounded by crazies, and I love my crazies. So anyway, I love that song. It's so beautiful. It brings me to tears every time I see it. And she doesn't know if she's got this part, but they seem to love her. And then they have this moment. They're back in Griffith Park.
At the same place where they danced and met. It's
my
daytime now. And no, they don't know. Like, she even says, "Where are we?"
Right. And he says, like, we're in Griffith Park.
Right. Yeah. But neither one of them know. But I'll tell you something. Here's another thing that I, just not to belabor the point. Zeb's like, you're gonna get the part. I say Zeb because that's Sebastian. You're gonna get the part. You're gonna go to Paris.
Right.
He is still obligated to his band. He does not have, in his mind, it's like, look, we both need to do these things. Like, he doesn't know. He can't just bail and go to Paris. And it's not like she says, what? She doesn't say, come to Paris with me. We never see this.
Because she needs to know that he actually wants to be with her.
Okay.
She can't tell him to come to Paris with her.
You don't think that his drive 500 miles to Nevada to get her, to bring her back, you don't think that was enough of an indicator that he's pretty into her?
Yeah. What if she had said, will you come to Paris with me? And he would have said, no, I'm sorry, I can't.
Okay, but...
You know how devastating... She's already... Rejection is a huge issue for her. And so there's no way she was going to ask that question. There's no way she was going to ask that question.
Well, she didn't have to because... he was also doing what he was doing.
He had already decided that he was not going to go with her.
Yeah, because she had shown that she will bail. She will bail.
What the heck? Never on their relationship.
Okay, she did bail on their relationship. You know what?
Let's just keep going with the plot.
Okay, we'll keep going.
Because, man, I didn't know this movie was so, like...
apparently I didn't either. I mean, I love this movie. We both love this movie, but isn't it interesting?
We have lots to talk about after this.
Great. I need more wine. So she gets the part.
She gets the part.
And it cuts to 5 years later. 5
years later. And I love the ending of this movie. I absolutely love the ending of this movie.
Well, what's interesting is it's pretty devastating. And then we're back on the Warner Brothers lot.
Yep.
And it's Mia that's walking into the same coffee shop
Yep.
on the Warner Brothers lot, and the same scene is played with the star walking in, and everybody looking and being, the barista's like, and everybody in the coffee shop's like, oh, it's Miss So-and-so. And then it's revealed to be Mia, and she
does the same thing as when the actress came in, like, you can have it for free, and she's like, no.
Because she knows what it's like.
Yeah.
And she's a movie star, and then we find out she's married, and she has a child.
She has a little girl.
And they're staying at the Chateau Marmont, which, can I just say as an aside, I can't tell you how many lost nights I've had at the Chateau Marmont, and now they're going to turn it into a club. It's kind of a bummer. I know. Like the Soho House, like everything in LA. Gone.
Everything's private club.
I know. So they're going to do that. They're staying at and then they're going to go to a dinner. They get caught in traffic right downtown on 4th. I think it's 4th Avenue.
Yeah.
They're on 4th Avenue. How many times have we gotten off that and driven right? I mean, 100 million times.
Yeah.
So they're on 4th, and there's that one exit that they zip up.
Yeah, she's
to
like,
get up.
Let's exit here and go to dinner.
Yeah, you can go up the street and get to the Disney concert hall.
Yes,
I mean, it's
Disney Hall.
And they go to dinner, and then after dinner, they're going to go back and get in their car, and they hear jazz music pouring out of a club.
Yeah, they had dinner. They're going to get in the car. They hear this jazz, and her husband's like, why don't we check it out? So they descend into this club, and she turns the corner.
And the club is awesome, by the way.
There's a sign on the wall, Seb's.
It's not just a sign. It's her sign.
It's her sign.
It's the sign she designed for him.
She designed that sign, and it's there, and she is in shock.
Okay, so now let me ask you. She achieved her dream of becoming a movie star.
Yeah.
He achieved his dream of opening Zeb's. So clearly... Seb's. Oh, as I say Zeb. Seb's. Like Sebastian.
By the way, Sebastian was my number one choice for a boy's name if I had had a boy. And this was a name that I had chosen from when I was a very young girl.
So,
just an aside.
So he clearly never did give up on his dreams. Now, the argument could be... Because what? Okay. Because what? Are you telling me...
Let's not argue again.
Okay.
You're right. He didn't give up on his dreams. He finally made his club.
He had this dream before he met her.
Right. But he gave it up.
But he never gave it up. He never gave it up, and he never forgot about her. What he did was he allowed her to pursue her own dreams. And you know what?
He could have been part of her dream.
Did she ever call and ask him what was going on in his life?
Did he ever call her?
We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. We don't know what happened, but I think the reading of the text would be that she went to Paris, got caught up in her career, and, I mean, it would probably be easier for her to call him. He already did his job. He got her through that gateway. He was the one that led her through. If it wasn't for him, she would never have been there. So I would say that it was up to her. She was the one that left. She went to Paris. She did that. He kept steady and he never lost focus. 5 years went by. She went and married someone else. Did she call him? We don't know. But he didn't marry anyone else.
Wow. We see that this movie really touches a nerve with you.
But he didn't marry anybody else.
Know.
He didn't have, as we know from the end of the movie, he doesn't have a fawning, sycophonic girlfriend that's mooning over him. He's got his club. He's got his jazz. He's got exactly what he said he was going to do. And she got where she was because of him. Okay,
you're right. He's the...
I'm just saying, it's not about whether I'm right or wrong or not, but I'm saying the movie is definitely telling us something.
Well, my read of this movie is not what your read was.
Well, what is your read of the movie?
All. Well, now, forget my read. Well, we're already to the end.
We're supposed to talk
about...
So
let's just talk about this end scene. So, she's sitting there with her husband, and he starts playing...
I heard that you'd be in here longer.
No. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine.
You want more wine?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, we shouldn't.
No.
No, we shouldn't.
No.
Nope.
No. This is important. We got to get to the end of this. This is important.
Yeah, we really shouldn't be drinking more when we're fighting.
Yeah, no. We're having not an ideological conversation.
But thank
So,
you. Thanks
yeah.
for the thought.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna finish this up. We'll
Yeah.
wrap it up.
This is good. It's good. But thanks for the thought, though.
Yes, thank you. That's
That was
very
good.
sweet.
So
As you said, we're gonna need more wine. And I'm like, I got you one.
Yeah.
more away.
so
Okay, so she's sitting there with her husband, and he starts playing their theme song.
well, they see each other. Like he gets on
Oh, yeah.
stage, and what she's realizing is she's seen that everything he said he was going to do. Not only did he do it, but he's done it, and he's never forgotten her.
Right.
The influence that he this sign is her sign. He did what he said he was going to do. He didn't call her up and say, "Hey, guess what? I opened a jazz club." Because apparently she had no idea. I mean, if you see, there is a fucking movie poster of her movie on the wall of on the building.
On the building.
Yeah,
He
they
didn't
walk.
Put it there.
They
It's a
walk.
billboard.
I understand, but it's not like I think that there's a reason why they show you this movie poster. He knows exactly what she's become. She doesn't know anything about him. He's seen the movie poster. He's seen her career. He probably went to the films. He's been following her career. She never called him.
How do you know he's following her career?
Because-
There is no point in this film that it shows him following her career.
Because-
he walks past the billboard and he doesn't even fucking pay attention to it.
Because he's seen it every night.
Okay.
He knows exactly
you are
what
so
she's done.
projecting onto this film.
I'm not.
You are so projecting.
the director-
Okay, let's get to the end of this, please.
She doesn't know what he did. She
Man.
doesn't know. She doesn't know. The important thing is,
Okay.
it shows that he knows what she's done.
Right.
But she doesn't know what he
He's right
did.
in this film and she's wrong. You're right.
It's
You're
not about-
absolutely right. Man,
It's not about being right or wrong.
you hijacked my film.
I did not.
You did.
I did not hijack
Yeah,
your movie.
you did. We have a lot to talk about.
So then, as their eyes meet and they see one another, she envisions.
Yeah, he starts playing their theme song, as I was saying.
But it's not him that envisions this. It's her.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Why don't you explain it?
Well, don't you think it's significant that you see the light come down on her and she runs through an alternate scenario of what could have been? It's not him who's doing it. It's her.
Meaning?
I don't know. I'm asking you. What do you think that means?
Well, you seem to know, so you should explain it.
I think because she never even thought about the fact that maybe he was pursuing his dreams, that maybe he was the person he said he was. She clearly, like Kirk in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, never checked on their progress. And she didn't. She didn't. He clearly made enough money playing with John Legend that he was able to do exactly what he said he was going to do and make...
But he never communicated that to her when they were having the argument. He implied that he was going to do this band thing forever.
Okay, don't you think that when he went and got
Hello,
her...
communication.
Okay, you're talking about one scene. Don't you think...
But that scene is what changed their future.
No,
Yes,
because
that argument is what changed their lives.
No, what about him driving to Nevada? Did that not resonate with her?
Yeah, but what about him not going to Paris with her?
But she never asked him to go. We never see that. That is never something...
She even asked, what about us?
What about us? Remember, when they're having this
What
conversation...
about us? She asked, what about us?
Excuse me, she hadn't
And
got...
he says, I'm going to stay here and you're going to go to Paris.
She didn't even know if she got the part yet, and he said, you're going to get the part. You're going to get the part.
Communication, okay? He obviously is not good at communicating, as
Really?
most men are not.
Really, I think that gesture of going to Nevada and getting her and making sure she got the audition, I think
Wow.
that says more than actions.
So at that point,
actions
what?
speak
She's
louder than
supposed
words.
to, like, read between the lines, and he goes and gets her. She
don't-
does the audition, and then she asks him. She literally asks him, "Where are we?" Meaning,
Yeah, okay.
what
Let
is
me-
our future? Instead of him saying,
All right.
Well-
Let me ask you this: Who the hell who the hell is she to say, where are we? When he's like, bitch, you left town. I don't know why are you asking me where are we? I don't know where we are. You were in Nevada. I went and got your ass, brought you back to LA, and I don't know what's going to happen, and I hope you get the part. But you have no right to say, where are we? Because you know where I am? I'm in LA. You're in fucking Nevada. And that's why you weren't there to get your phone call. And if I didn't drive my ass 500 miles to pick your ass up and bring you back to LA, you would not be going to Paris at all. So you asking me, where are we? I don't know. You haven't called me. I'm sitting at home. I'm touring with John Legend. I'm just saying.
You are so projecting on.
I am not projecting. I am not projecting.
Let's just get to the end because I did not expect this conversation to go like this at all.
I just can't.
This is not what I thought we would be talking about. You have taken this film and like made it something completely different.
I'm not. I'm telling you my reading of this movie.
Let's just finish this up because wow, my mind is blowing right now.
We both love this movie.
Yeah. I'm speechless at this point.
Okay, so then we go into Emma Stone. Mia gets to have the luxury because she has a husband and a child and an amazing career. So we focus on her, and she, while she's sitting in this jazz club, gets to mull what her past could have been, or what her universe could have been, and how, wow, now that I've seen him achieve his dreams, now it's okay for me to actually, for the very first time, think about the life we could have had together. Now that I know, now that I don't have to risk anything because I'm already famous and married and have a kid, now I don't have to call him on the phone and wonder what he's doing. So he lives out, he's done what he said he was going to do, and she has second thoughts about her perfect life because now, Sebastian did what he said he was going to do, and now I can think about what my life with him could have been. And I'll tell you something. That's some bullshit. That is some bullshit. That is like, I already achieved. I never called you. I never checked up on you.
But you don't know that.
Yes, we do. She had no idea that club existed. We see it. She's completely blindsided by the fact that this club existed. She has no idea. She has no idea what he was doing, yet he has a fucking movie poster of her movie, which probably was the 5th movie poster.
He did not put that poster up.
No,
it's a billboard.
But he walks by it, and did you see the film?
He did not put it there.
Okay, the shot in the movie, it shows her face juxtaposed with him going into the club. I mean, he has had to deal with her and her life. Do you think he doesn't know? I mean, everyone knows what she's doing. Everyone knows her. She's a famous star. She went and got married to some dude. They live in New York. I mean, it's not like, did she ever call him from Paris? Hey, baby, nope. Nope. You know what this movie is? This movie is Casablanca. Rick Blaine lets Ilsa get on that plane with Victor Laszlo. Yeah, I love you. You go with Victor Laszlo. I'm gonna stay here at Club Americana, and I'm gonna be here. Beautiful friendship. It's the same thing. He gets hosed, she gets her dreams, and if he didn't go get her in Nevada, she never would have achieved, and she never called him. Never called him.
Did he call her?
You know what? I think the onus was on her to call him.
Oh, why?
Because he went and got her in Nevada. He went and made sure she got the audition. He was the one that said, "You've got this. You've got this audition." He knew. He goes, "I know about these things." And you know what? He was right. He was right.
Wow, it's interesting to hear. This is not at all what I read from this movie at all.
Well, what did you read?
Well, now I'm all discombobulated. I can't even articulate what I was going to say. So
you can't not do that. You got to say what you're going to say.
Well, I don't know at this point.
Are you going to kick me out?
No.
We have to make sure that we are coming back on Monday. Boy, oh boy. That's entertainment. All right, well, should we look and see what other people are saying?
Yeah.
First of all, what did you think of this? I love this movie.
I love this movie too.
I completely identify with Sebastian.
I can see that. I can totally see that.
Well, perhaps we should look and see what people are saying. Let's see. Where are we at here? Willow sends in a tip and says, so which movie did not win Best Picture at the 89th Academy Awards?
Right.
That's very funny. Yes, everyone knows. They said La La Land, but it was really Moonlight. It was really The Canadian singing Posty is here. Hello, sir. Hey, Robert and Elizabeth, nice choice. I don't understand why this movie gets so much flack. I don't either.
I agree.
It is delightful. The ending always makes me think of my own what-ifs.
Yes, me too.
Me too.
Which I was going to talk about, but...
Well, you should talk about it.
I don't know.
Yeah, you should. Look, just because I've made you discombobulated, you got to come back at me. Julius Goodwin's here, and he says, I'm curious, sir, considering your rather unique rendition of 50 Cent's song In the Club, I asked you to sing for Miss Elizabeth's birthday a few days ago. Have you ever considered directing, producing, or acting in a movie musical?
I would love to make a musical.
Well, I was Major General Stanley in The Pirates of Penzance. I am the very pattern of a modern major general of information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England, and I quote the fights historical from Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. No, I never would. I as an adult, no. Would you be in a musical?
I wouldn't be in a musical because I can't sing, but I would dream. I dream of being in a musical.
I'd love to make a musical.
Make a musical.
Yeah. I would like to do a new romantic musical set in the early 80s, like circa 80,
Absolutely.
81 to 84. That would be the
amazing.
time period. It would be all the new romantics. You know, I would. It would be great.
Yeah,
I would love to do that. That's what I would do. John is here, just throwing some support your way. Cheers. Well, thank you. Haviland Star sends in a super chat and says, hi, Rob and Liz. Love your show. I watch as much as I can. Off topic and a bit polemic. I was watching an interview with Brooke Shields about her mom and Pretty Baby. What do you guys think about that movie? Wow, that is a little off topic. Pretty Baby is a movie that Brooke Shields made when she was young, very young, and she was rather sexualized in the film. And I haven't read the interview, but I would say that she probably regrets doing that because
I haven't seen that.
It's actually a very interesting movie, but it I'm sure, you know, Brooke Shields was sexualized at a very young age, both as a model, you know, her jeans ads and all that, and I think that she was much more of a. I think her public persona was different than who she was as a person, and I think that probably was very problematic for her in her life. So I'd be very curious to hear what she said about that. Wayne Edwards sends it. Thank you, Wayne. That's very, very. Thank you for that support. Very, very much appreciated. I love La La Land. I see there's hate for it, but I love it, and it was my entry point to musicals, which I love now. A whole new world. Anyway, thank you both. You guys are fun. Well, were we not fun tonight? Come on, we were. I think we were fun tonight. I think it was.
Sorry, guys.
This was entertainment. I mean, look, it wasn't like me being drunk doing Point Break. This was. I mean, I think this was. I think this ideological divide is interesting.
It is interesting. I really have to digest all this. Like, I never considered it the way that you saw it. Never.
Oh.
I saw it from my point of view, and
but I don't think
it's very interesting.
No, I don't think your point of view is wrong because you're looking at it from her point of view.
Yeah.
Where I'm looking at it from Sebastian's point of view.
And it's so interesting. I never knew that you felt that about this. I never ever.
But look, it's not like I don't understand.
And it just took me by surprise, the stuff you were saying.
Julia's calling you. Do you think she's calling you because she's watching the show?
I don't know. But, yeah, this is interesting. I really have
so here's the thing.
I really have to think about...
See, that's what I'm saying is, like, you can. I know at first I came on a little strong. But for you to say you never thought about it, but now you're contemplating it.
I'm definitely going to be thinking about this for a while.
Yeah, but that's what good discourse and debate is about.
But here's the problem: you did not hear my side of
Well, that's why I'm waiting.
my thoughts on this.
So please.
No. I can't. I'm just so like.
But that's not fair. You got to say what you got.
Yeah, I can't.
You got to say your piece.
Right now I can't because I'm just so like blown away with what you were saying.
Well, then would I ask you then before we start the next show on Monday, perhaps after you've sat with these, we could have you then chime in at the beginning of the show and talk more about what you thought.
Absolutely.
And I will not say anything.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I won't say anything.
That's a good idea.
Okay. Okay. Wayne Edwards sends in a tip and says, wait, did I already say Wayne's? No, he already said Wayne Edwards. And thank you, Wayne. That's very generous of you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
John is here again with a super chat. He just sent in a super chat. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Julius is here. Julius Goodwin sends in a tip and says, hold on to dreams. For if dreams die, life is a bird with broken wings that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams go, life is a barren field. Frozen with snow by Langston Hughes. It's
That's
a rare
beautiful.
person that can keep 2 wives, love, and a career. Happy. You're right about that. John says, 2-bottle night. Give the movie 7 glasses. I would, actually. That'd be fine. Julius sends in a tip and says, I have to admit, I've never seen you two disagree. Never mind fight. Not even when you watch Fight Club. And that movie is designed to piss people off.
We don't fight. That's
We
the
really
thing.
don't. We never fight.
We don't fight. Like that's why I'm blown away.
We don't fight. Julius goes on to say, I guess another question this movie raises is, should we judge people solely based on their failures, weak moments, or disappointments in life? Absolutely not. Each of us has had those times, struggling to find who we are in this world. Does that lessen our worth forever? What do you think?
Yeah, which is along the lines of what I was going to say. Like she, if things had been said differently or gone differently, they would be together.
But let me ask you this then. Okay. Do you think that if they were together, their lives would be better off? Would they be happier at the end of this movie? Would they be happier if they were together?
Yes, I do believe that because there was definitely a very strong connection for these two, and I think that they will always, for the rest of their lives, wonder what their life would have been if they had pursued each other.
Right now.
And there's even like she's imagining what their child would be like.
Yeah. I mean, no, well, now let me ask you this then, because I go back and forth every time I see this movie. Do you think that when her husband says, do you want to have another drink to stay in the club, and she goes, no, I need to leave. Do you think that's her saying, even though I had this fantasy that's flashed before my eyes, I know I made the right choice? See, in my mind, what do you think?
Well, I mean,
she leaves because she does leave.
She leaves because for 2 reasons. It's too much. Her imagining has brought her to a place that's overwhelming for her. And yeah, she made her choice. She got married, and her husband seems very nice, and she has a child with him, and they seem to be happy. So she's at that point deciding that she's going to stick with that.
See, I agree with you, but I also think that at that moment when they see each other in that club, I don't think she's ever thought about him.
No.
I think.
I can tell you.
Well, of
there's
course.
no way that she has not thought about him.
All right.
There's no way.
But I don't mean she hasn't ever thought about him, like ever. But I think that she moved forward with her life, and women are very much able to move on. They compartmentalize
you're so
and they
wrong.
move forward. Okay.
You're so wrong.
I might be. That's fair. I might be wrong. But what I liked about the movie, what I actually love about the film, is when her husband says, do you want to stay for another? They could have had them meet, like talk. He could have come to the table and said hello. They didn't do that. She said, nope. I think it's time to go. Because she knows that she's made the right choices in her life.
I don't know if it's the right choice, but she knows that she has made that choice. And
I think she knows it's the right choice.
Well,
and you know what?
I don't know. I think that they will both regret.
Maybe, but what I love about the film is he's the first. He smiles. Sebastian from the piano bench, where he's supposed to be.
She smiles at him first.
I don't think she does.
As she's leaving, she turns around.
She turns and looks at him.
She smiles and he smiles back.
No, I think he smiles first,
Nope.
and then
Look
she kind of.
Look at it again.
All right, well.
I paid attention.
All right, well, okay. I could be.
Smiles
I could be
first,
wrong.
And then he smiles at her.
But I think my reading of the film is that it ends where it's absolutely supposed to end. They both are in the place they should be.
I don't know. It's heart-wrenching to me. Because we all have that person that we feel like, oh, what if? That what if person. And most of us don't have an opportunity to pursue that. But then sometimes you do, and then you're like, oh, this was a daisy for me.
A daisy.
A daisy.
Well, a daisy like
daisy
in
to my
The Great
Gatsby.
Gatsby, yeah. Nice, good pull. I like that. So to answer Julius's question, each of us has had those times struggling to find who we are in this world. Does that lessen our worth forever?
Wait, say that again?
Well, Julius says, I guess another question this movie raises is, should we judge people solely based on their failures, weak moments, or disappointments in life? Each of us has had those times struggling to find who we are in this world. Does that lessen our worth forever?
Oh, geez, no.
I would say absolutely not.
No, we all make mistakes.
Yeah, and
That's
I think
what this film is all about.
Yeah, and I mean, I find this movie to have actually a very happy ending. Because both of them...
To me, this ending is heart-wrenching.
It's heart-wrenching, but it's still... I still think it's a happy ending because each one of them, the dreams they had before they met, the dreams they had on their own, before they were together, never changed. They had their dreams before they met, and they achieved those dreams.
That's true.
Now, while they were together at the time, they shared their dreams with one another.
But here's the thing. They both needed each other to achieve their dreams.
Yes. And that's why they will always love one another. And at the end, they both know that if it wasn't for you and if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be where we are now. And I find that to be uplifting. I find that to be life. You know, and the cost of achieving your dreams, you know, you can't have it all. If the universe wanted you to have everything, we would. But the fact is, both of them stuck to their guns. What we don't see is the struggle. We don't see when Zeb had enough money and he said to John Legend, look, man, it's been a great ride, but I'm going to go open my jazz club. I'm going to go follow my bliss. We never see that.
No,
There's a lot we don't see. All we see is the end result of what these people have done. And I think it's incredibly uplifting. I think it's incredibly uplifting that they both achieve these dreams and they both have what they loved and wanted to have happen. Which ultimately together, I mean, they didn't have to change diapers together. They didn't have to have a rebellious teenager together. You know, they had their love, and they know that without each one of them, without their relationship, neither one of them would have achieved their dreams.
True.
They needed to be, and so their love and their relationship had an incredibly profound impact on their lives. And I think that's pretty neat. That's why I love the end of this movie.
Yeah, I love the end of this movie too. But for different reasons.
John says, great show. I've never seen this movie. Cheers to you both. I love that people watch a show that haven't seen the movie.
Do not be influenced by our discussion.
Yeah.
Please watch
No,
this
the movie's
movie.
delightful. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Doc Savage says, I think you're actually both right. But don't hate me, Elizabeth. There was probably a POV you may have glossed over, much like you did with Fight Club.
Well, I'm not a man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, but that's okay. See, here's
I'm
the
not
thing.
a man.
Here's the thing. You don't have to get angry. This is all we're all discussing. That's the whole point.
Who's angry?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I think you were the angry one.
I wasn't angry.
I was just shocked.
Haviland Star sends in another super chat and says, hi, Rob and Liz. Thank you for reading my chat. She actually said she doesn't regret doing the movie, but she was sad with what people said about it. Would you guys consider reviewing? Wait, was that back?
Doing the movie?
The movie.
He's
Brooke
to
Shields.
Brooke Shields, yeah.
Yeah. She said.
Oh.
She said she doesn't regret doing the movie, but she was sad with what people said about it.
Oh.
See, I think that's very interesting. The first movie I ever worked on was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. I was the art department assistant. But there was a girl who was she was very young when she made the movie. She was 5, 6, 7. And she played one of the members of the cannibal family. And she gets to pull a cord which sends a sledgehammer into a person's head and then collects blood. And when you're making a horror film, it's hilarious. And everybody's having fun. It's special effects. If you're a kid, there's skeletons. She had a baby. Her dolly was a skeleton, like an infant skeleton. And she had a blast. So when the movie finally came out, they cut out, because the movie was rated X, they cut out a lot of the work that she had done. And when she saw the film as a kid, she didn't understand. I was sitting next to her at the premiere at the Chinese theater, and she said, "Why did they cut out all my work? Did they not like it?" And Brooke Shields, when you're making a film, you're not aware of what the finished film's going to be like. You're not aware of how sexualized you might become. She probably had a great work experience. And to see a backlash that happened, so I could absolutely see her saying that. And that's what's really hard to understand. The act of making a film, you never know what a final film is, how it's going to feel, how it's going to impact the audience. There's no way to know. And when you're making a movie, especially if it's a great set and everybody's working at the top of their game, it's very satisfying. It's very gratifying. The work every day, you leave the set every day and you leave it very energized. But that has nothing to do with how the final film is going to come out. Because everybody who works on a movie is convinced they've made the best movie of all time. So that's very interesting. I want to read that interview. We should do Pretty Baby. I don't own Pretty Baby. I don't even know if it's on Blu-ray, but it's worth getting. Timbula the Spider Monkey sends in a tip and says, the list of movies that you've done that you didn't like, not hate, is now 3. This, Jerry Maguire, and Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
I don't hate this film. This is one of my favorite films.
By the way, my girlfriend agrees with both of you. She hates both of the characters' reactions in this film, and that's why I love her. I love this movie, and so do you. Mm-hmm. We love this movie. Jules sends in another tip and says, to paraphrase the great scholar and thinker Peter Griffin. Yes, Family Guy Peter Griffin. I recognize that tone. Tonight you sleep alone, but this movie's still freaking sweet. That was a bad Stewie Griffin. David Wong sends in a super chat and says, wow, an Elizaviews for the ages. Siskel and Ebert live on. Laugh out loud. Thanks, guys. Big Night is next, please. Big Night's a great movie. I don't know what we're going to do next. You know what I really want to do? A movie I haven't seen. A new movie that I just got on Blu-ray.
What is it?
It's a Nicolas Cage movie called The Color Out of Space.
Oh,
that Richard Stanley directed. It's based on an H.P. Lovecraft story. We should do it.
Totally.
We'll do it on Monday. Monday's movie is The Color Out of Space, the new Nicolas Cage film. Richard Stanley coming back after being in exile director's jail for 20 years. I'm inspired by him. So that's what we're going to do. You know, we are way over. We're at 90 minutes. So the dogs need to have dinner.
Yes.
All right, so you're going to think about this and come back on Monday. You're going to tell us your thoughts.
Sure. Yes.
Come on, babe. Cheers to us. Come on.
Come on, what?
This is a good show.
Yeah.
Okay, so on we have to talk about our bottoms up scale. We have our bottoms up scale of rating. Hang on. Our bottoms up scale of rating movies.
Our bottoms up scale is from 1 to 4 glasses because there are 4 glasses of wine in a bottle.
And on a scale of 1 to 4, what do you give La La Land?
I give La La Land 4 glasses of wine.
4 glasses of wine. I give La La Land 3.5 glasses of wine. I love this movie.
I do too.
But to me, it's not like The Godfather.
Wait a second. You're the one who keeps saying that you judge each film on its own. Why
know-
are you comparing it?
I understand, but it doesn't resonate into my soul the way a movie like The Godfather does.
Okay.
So I give it 3.5.
Okay.
3.5 glasses of wine. So everyone, we're going to end this. We're going to end this episode. And I want to thank, first of all, my moderating staff, beginning with Mike Bodden and Greg Smith. Mr. Derringer is here. I don't know who else is here. Robert Pariso is here. And by the way, Robert, I got your letter, and I forgot to pull it tonight, but I will read it on Monday because it's a great letter, and I very much appreciate it. The Richard is here, and I want to thank all of our moderators. And by the way, you can always go to the Post-Geek Singularity Facebook page and the WINEning About Movies Facebook page and join up. Find the Richard. He's always throwing watch parties and showing things, and you can request things with him. He's doing a great job. So go find him. And you can also go to the Burnettwork.net, which is our website for this YouTube channel. You can send us letters, and we've got thousands of people's letters up there already. Send me letters, send me videos, send us letters and videos. I'll play them on Robservations or on WINEning About Movies. And if you write us a letter, just please say that it's okay to read it on the air. So thank you all very much. And we will be back on Monday with Richard Stanley's The Color Out of Space. Doc Savage, John sends in another super chat. Thank you very much. Doc Savage sends in a super chat and says, "Cheers to you, Elizabeth Kapla." That's a Klingon word. Success.
Thank you.
And Sean M sends a super chat in and says, "Hi, Rob. So I'm late, but how about reviewing The Commitments?" You know what? In honor of Alan Parker, I'll tell you what we're going to review. We're going to do Fame on Wednesday. We'll do The Color Out of Space on Monday. We're going to do Alan Parker because he passed away. Alan Parker's 1980 Fame that we're going to do for Wednesday.
Cool.
Do you know what we're going to do? Oh, I know what we're going to do. You already picked a movie for Friday.
I did.
So next week on WINEning About Movies, we're doing The Color Out of Space on Monday, a movie neither of us has seen. We're going to do Alan Parker's Fame in honor of his passing. Alan Parker's 1980 film Fame. And then on Friday, why don't you tell people what we're doing Friday?
We are going to do Rocky.
Rocky, the original Rocky.
We are.
Wow, we're going to go the distance then.
Yep.
All right, so that's what we are doing next week. We're going to do the Right Thing, but we've pushed that for our special guest into 2 weeks from now. So we're going to do the Right Thing, not next week, but the week after. So, Elizabeth, why don't you take us out?
Okay, so everyone you meet has a story to tell, and all that you have yet to hear, and all you have to do is listen.
All you have to do is listen.
Have a better night.
Have a better night. Thanks for joining us. I think another epic whining about movies. We certainly, at least I whined. You might have whined a little. We whined.
So.
Cheers to us. Cheers to us for whining about movies. Epic whining. So thank you all very much. And have a better night.